Hello, good morning. I would love to be looking out at that view, but I will give you guys the treat of looking out of that view. I am just here sitting in the hammock, or laying in the hammock rather, and I wanted to talk more about my ayahuasca journey yesterday. It was everything that I needed. The wonderful thing about plant medicine is it gives you everything that you need individually to each person. So I was gonna journal about it. I still might, but I really like talking about things. I find it actually a lot easier for myself to get things out there. My hand gets lazy when I write, and I really like this outlet of sharing and documenting stories, and it's a really great way to share with other people too, because we are here to share stories. So yeah, yesterday we went on a big hike, my partner and I, here in Brazil, and we each had a dose of daime, which is ayahuasca, another word for ayahuasca, another name for ayahuasca. And when we got to the top of the rock, where it was the end of the hike, or the destination of the hike, I didn't feel much. We waited about an hour and we weren't feeling it that much. It was really light. So technically you should wait a good hour and a half, but we both know that no matter what, everything's going to be fine. And I know he takes good care of me and protects me no matter what. So I felt safe to take another dosage. So we both dosed again. And it started to come on pretty strong. It's so hard to explain a psychedelic experience. You really have to experience it. But I started to get visuals. I started to see patterns in everything that I look at. I saw patterns everywhere, and you start to feel the spirit of plants and living things. You start to, well, this is my personal experience. Everybody has different experiences, but I find that I'm more in tune to communicating with animals and plants. And we were with these dogs, and I could tell they were really thirsty. We forgot to bring water with us for them. Poor dogs. I'm never gonna forget that again. I'm gonna bring water and snacks for the dogs. But I could tell the dog was really thirsty. One of them was whining a little bit, so I ended up giving her some water, and she was thankful for that. And when I drink ayahuasca so far on my journeying, I feel the need to lay down a lot. So it was really nice to lay down on the rock. It was great that nobody else was there, so we had that to ourselves. It's a really nice rock to lay on. It's wonderful. And laying on the ground or a rock, just laying on the ground feels really good. It feels like that's what you're supposed to do. That's what I felt like I was supposed to do right then and there, and this happens very frequently for me when I'm drinking ayahuasca. It feels like that's the work that I need to do to reconnect to myself and to Earth, because we have this strong connection with nature that we lose touch with. So just laying on the ground, you're doing the work. And you start to get to a place where regular things that we know very well in our everyday life, like time and space and walking and going to work, none of that makes sense anymore. So I got to this place, which happens almost every time, where I don't even know what time is. I didn't even know what walking was. All I knew is I couldn't get up. I had to lay down. And I was a little bit concerned, because what if it starts to rain? It was getting very foggy, and I was getting a little bit cold. But also it's common to get the chills on ayahuasca, and I got a little bit shaky and stuff. But again, I knew I'd be completely safe and fine. It's just part of the process. There's always a process each time that one must pass through. Fortunately, I didn't feel any nausea, which was really nice this time. And overall, yeah, I just had to lay down for a while, and I was wondering, like, should we get up and go walk down? What if it's gonna get late? We don't want to spend the night here. I started to think about those things, but at the same time, like, I didn't even really know what walking was anymore, so that wasn't happening. But I knew it's just a part of it that will pass. So meanwhile, my partner was struggling a little bit on his own journey, and he told me about it later, what was going on for him. But he's really nice to protect me and give me warmth when I was feeling cold and make sure I'm safe, and I could feel him communicating with nature, even the climate, to prevent it from raining when I was not able to walk down this rock cliff mountain. So every time it started to rain just a little bit, we got some droplets, then it would pass, and I knew that he was really putting effort into making sure that it wasn't going to rain for this time. I had to pass on that rock to be able to go down eventually. And it was really incredible how when it did start to rain, I was good enough to walk and go down. I felt quite well, very good. It started to pour rain, and you know what, I was very happy and content. I had my ponchos saved me on this trip so many times. I had an umbrella, and it was really fun to go hiking down in the rain and just experience that. And I really understood that as the rain came as a sign to, okay, now it's time for you guys to go, because if you stay any longer here, you might be spending the night. So nature speaks with us all the time, and it's really amazing how on a plant medicine we're able to experience that a lot more than we usually do day to day with all the distractions of everyday life that we have. So and just as a side note, today I feel quite well. I'm a little bit tired, but I feel quite well because I woke up in the middle of the night hungry, so I got some snacks, and then I broke up my sleep. But I'm feeling quite well, very clear-headed, as I usually do after taking psychedelics and on psychedelics. Very, very much clear-headed, very much grateful, full of love, full of joy, everything that I really needed to experience. So we hiked down from the mountain, and in pouring rain, eventually it stopped raining, and it's really nice to hike in silence. We did that a lot on the ayahuasca retreat as well, just to respect the silence, because everybody's going through their own process on their own journey, and it's just lovely to respect the silence. So we hiked down in silence most of the way, but when we did talk, we had always nice and pleasant things to share, and always looking out for one another, and the dogs were always looking out for us the whole way down, and it's just really special. And a lot of the times on the journey, with your eyes open, it's quite a spectacle. Everything's it just felt so pure. It's also the setting that we're in, beautiful nature. It just felt so pure. So having eyes open is just a delight, and when you close your eyes, it's just such a delight as well, because it's just, everybody has different experiences, but for me personally, I haven't had any visions. I haven't vomited either, fortunately. It does come out the other end for me. It does cause me to have to go number 2, but that's part of the cleansing process, and that's totally normal. But when you close your eyes, when I close my eyes, I see all very subtle patterns. When it's light, when it's heavy, I see things more bright, but very subtle patterns that are just shifting and morphing into one another. And it's important not to ever try to control the experience, and just let the ayahuasca spirit do what it wants to do, show you what you need to be seen, what you need to be shown during that experience. Each time is different. Each person experiences something different. And it's just so incredibly beautiful to be able to experience that. And it's not for no reason that this exists in nature, you guys. It's pretty incredible. So the closed eye experience is really wonderful, and just feeling so much connection and understanding and remembering where we came from. And I remember laying on that rock up at the top of this hike, and I just felt very much how cave people must have felt. And I'm convinced that our evolution as a human species is thanks to consuming psychedelics. So I felt very much like what cavemen must have felt like. I kind of transcended time for a while, and everything came together and connected, if that makes any sense. It's such an experience, really. You really need to experience it for yourself. But then by the way, I'm really glad that I finally, I'm documenting these things. All it took was me getting into it again, just starting a little bit, even though I didn't feel like it, and that was yesterday, and now I am back at it with more motivation. So when we came down the mountain out of the dark, deep jungle. So we felt safer to continue even if it's at night because we have flashlights. It's a little bit easier when there's a dirt road as opposed to like macheteing through the forest uphill and downhill. So once we got down, we decided to have another dose because why not? It's Sunday and this is what we wanted to do to, you know, have our therapy session and reconnect. So we have another dosage. It was quite a large dose, but again, I knew I'd be fine, I would be safe. All you need is water, a comfortable, safe place to lay down, toilet paper, a bathroom is nice, things to make you feel comfortable and safe. Also have somebody else there with you to help you. So I had all that, and this time around, I needed to lay down. We were in a sheltered space at this time, so no worry about the rain. But I started to get quite cold, so I asked for a couple of blankets. My boyfriend got them for me kindly, and I just had to lay down for a while and let whatever was going on just go through me. And it's just such a process, and it's so wild. The things that you suddenly feel like doing, like I suddenly just have felt the urge to start humming and singing with no judgment at all, which was so beautiful, and I never ever do that. And it was so nice to hear my own voice and just play around with it and see how it sounds. And so I was humming like stuff like that for a very long time, and it felt so amazing. It's like, why don't we do this more often? We're always so scared of the way we sound, self-conscious about other people judging us, that prevent us from evolving and really expressing ourselves truly. So it was really wonderful to express my voice without any judgment. It was fun and playful, and the ayahuasca spirit is so playful and fun and sexual as well, and it's just so wild. So my boyfriend got out an instrument and started making these cool noises, and then with me humming, it felt so pure, and it was so peaceful and serene. And I was laying down with blankets, but it was just the best. It felt so right, so right. And when I closed my eyes, the visuals were more intense this time. And I've been to this space before where it's all very colorful and playful and sexual and wild and crazy, and it's really hard to explain it, but it's like ayahuasca shows you that there's this whole world that exists that's inside of us that we forget about. So it's so nice, it's so beautiful to be able to experience that, and all these patterns that shift into one another and morph into each other, and it's sexual and playful and morphing colors, and I can't even explain it, but if you've seen DMT visuals, stuff like that, it's very much like that. And there's absolutely nothing to be afraid of. It was outrageously amazing spectacle to watch with my eyes closed. And that's this world that exists inside of us that's activated with the plant medicine. And it's just so cool, not to mention completely relaxing, very relaxing. Any depression, anxiety just melts right away. This happens to me on other psychedelics as well. I just melt away the anxiety and depression. I do struggle with anxiety and mild depression. But yeah, this inner world that you get to experience on ayahuasca is just so cool, and it's hard to explain it, but I hope that you can experience it someday if you feel like the plant medicine will be right for you. It's not right for everybody. You do have to do your research, check it out, but it's really, really benefited me a lot, and I'm so grateful to be able to have experienced this in my life so far, and I know I'm going to continue this journey on in my life, because just wow, you guys, I've grown so much. I've learned so much about myself, how to be a better person. By the way, the big message that I got, pretty much every time I take ayahuasca, I get at least one big message, like a lesson that I learned in that journey. And yesterday the lesson was to take care of each other and our planet. I felt that really strong yesterday, and it was really beautiful. So yeah, I wish I could somehow draw that world that existed inside my mind yesterday. It's just so hard to describe, but it's so nice to be at that place and experience that. So I'm just really grateful, and I'm happy to share this with you all. And thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. It's Live Your Life, where I'm just being my true authentic self and sharing my light with others, because some people might get inspired to be themselves too, and I think the world needs more of that. So please subscribe. I get so excited when I see one more subscribers, and thank you so much for tuning in, and always love hearing your comments. That makes it more fun for me as well. It's really nice to connect on the internet. There's a lot of great people out there, and I feel like a lot of great people are going to come and find my channel. So thank you for finding me, and have a wonderful day, and always follow your heart, and remember to take care of each other and the planet. This is where we come from, this beautiful earth. We need to respect it and treat it with love and respect and care.